In Japanese, the word crisis is composed of two symbols. One is danger, and the other is opportunity. I can think of no more fitting example of what can embody what's happening right now than the combination of these two concepts. And that's because we are living through literal history. In one single week, we've had an attempt on the life of a former president and the leading Republican nominee for president, as well as just days later, the sitting president and the incumbent running for political office on the Democratic side stepping aside. That's right, just hours ago, we've heard that Joe Biden is officially no longer running for president. Now, the weird part is that the Democratic Party is now going to decide with absolutely zero impact from voters who the Democratic nominee will be. Objectively, this is the most unique election we've ever seen in our lifetimes, and probably will ever see in our lifetimes. But it is a huge day because we are culminating a multi-year journey of the entire world seeing Joe Biden's cognitive decline month over month, causing both left and right alike to be absolutely infuriated. Now, in my opinion, if you're on the left, this is really good news because, to be honest, an absolute vegetable is not an acceptable leader. Full stop. Now that Joe Biden is out of the race, we can all just admit that this was a horrible, horrible path for the Democratic Party. And then to, on top, gaslight the voters into believing that there's no problem here, I think calls a lot into question. But let's just move past that because that was yesterday and today is a brand new day. At least the Democrats now get to put forward a new candidate, one who is not in cognitive decline. Certainly, if you're on the left, that is a massive celebration. But with this level of uncertainty, we've seen absolute chaos within the crypto charts. Getting back to the concept of danger and opportunity. We are knee-deep in a crisis of sorts, and that means, in my opinion, that we are looking at one of the last good opportunities to buy crypto before this market sends to an entirely new level. You see, I've just tweeted that markets right now are uncertain because without a known opponent, the odds of Trump winning cannot be calculated. You simply cannot have certainty of any outcome if you don't even know what the matchup is. And in my opinion, my message is very simple. Buy like there is no tomorrow. Buy like this is the final chance you have to buy anything in your life because the odds of Trump winning are still overwhelming. The image in people's head of that physical act of bravery that Trump displayed after the attempt on his life is nothing short of political history, and I don't see any candidate matching that level of strength and excitement with their constituents. You have literally an 80% chance, if you're bidding crypto, of securing financial freedom because if Trump's elected, likely Bitcoin will skyrocket well over $100,000, probably over $200,000 in his term. And so my complete guesstimation is that you have at least an 80% chance here of being right on a parabolic upside move. 80% chance that you get a parabolic move to the upside. Those are the odds right now, which makes this one of the most unique moments in the history of financial markets. Full stop. Now, of course, if you're following, that means that the narrative for this cycle is that this is really the last cycle because we're getting the ETF-ification, the Wall Street-ification of crypto with Bitcoin ETF, Ethereum ETF, maybe soon the Solana ETF, and you can extrapolate outward that now coins are becoming part of the mainstream financial machine. They are no longer outsider assets, but part of a new generation of asset strategies by the biggest wealth managers in the world. And we're even hearing many rumors that Donald Trump plans to this week in Nashville, Tennessee, announce that he is going to be employing a Bitcoin strategic reserve asset strategy, meaning that if elected, he plans to buy Bitcoin with the national balance sheet. Now, mind you, if this happens, this will trigger a game theoretical arms race between Russia, China, the United States, and any developed nation in securing and ensuring that they have enough Bitcoin to compete in the future. This could set off one of the biggest buying sprees for Bitcoin and by extension, all cryptocurrencies that we've ever seen in the history of our lifetimes. And probably there will never be a moment that has as big of an inflection and impact on price as this. So as Bernisky said here, with the ETH ETF slated to go live this coming week, Tuesday, that's right, on Tuesday, we're getting an altcoin listed on the stock market. Trump is speaking at the Bitcoin conference and the charts look like this below. Look at that monthly chart. Look at this consolidation under all-time high. Look at these gorgeous charts. They just want to explode to the upside. So I know if you're watching this channel, you probably are massively allocated to crypto, but my message is simple, that this is most likely this final moment moment of indecision, of uncertainty, because after Trump gets elected, this thing is going to rocket like no other. That is, of course, if Trump's elected, and that means that there's still a moment of uncertainty, of doubt that you can capitalize on. And of course, nothing is guaranteed. Who knows what's going to happen in the election? Certainly, I know I've gotten a lot more partisan, a lot more political on this channel than I'd ever intended to, but it's hard not to get frustrated when you have rogue actors that are unelected in the government waging a war on the industry that you call home, that you've spent your entire life working on for almost a decade. It's very infuriating. And as a lifelong California Democrat, I certainly did not expect to be right here saying the things I've been saying. And to those out there who maybe feel like I've gotten too political, again, I apologize. I'm just a human. I get emotional. But the reality is that one side is objectively way better for our crypto assets. And certainly, I don't think either side is going to fix the world here. So I'm betting on the side that I think is best for my life, which I think is, dare I say, a normal way to think about the world. And it's important to realize that both sides will spend. Both sides will borrow. Both sides will run up the national deficit indefinitely, regardless of your political affiliation and who gets elected from what party. The deficit problem in the United States will only grow stronger. And with it, the case to hold Bitcoin as a hedge against monetary debasement needed to resolve the problem. That's right. Study this chart. We're only going to borrow more. The only way to resolve this debt is to completely inflate away the debt, meaning they need to print enough money that this debt is easily repaid. There is zero deviation from this particular plan. So regardless of this election, regardless of the outcome, life goes on for Bitcoin and crypto holders. It just accelerates dramatically, way faster, especially for altcoin project founders, for cryptocurrency developers. It is beyond wrong to be persecuting the innovators within America. We need to make life better for innovators and promote a spirit of American exceptionalism again, regardless of whichever party you support. That, I think, is something we should all hold dear. So certainly the red team would be incredible for crypto, but the blue team is still good for crypto because they're going to print, they're going to debase, they're going to do the things that everybody does that has contributed to the need for a Bitcoin and crypto in the first place. So make no mistake, crypto wins out regardless, but the size of the dub that could be coming if red team gets in office is almost incomprehensibly big. Now, let me get a drum roll. It's time for Act 2, the fun part, where we talk about the fact that there's a strong case that can be made that crypto bottomed last week and we are entering the next phase of the bull market. I have been saying that this is what's coming, and that's why I was screaming at everyone to buy altcoins under 60,000. I was screaming that if we did see anything under 60K, it was time to smash buy, to throw every dollar I had into the market, and I walked my talk. I did exactly that, even though at times I wasn't sure whether I was walking the plank because the charts looked absolutely so wobbly. But as soon as things turned sour, they reversed course, and it looked as though I had secured the newest, most generational entries into my favorite assets. And I do believe to be successful in crypto, you have to have an element of faith in your thesis. If you don't have a thesis, you'll certainly not be able to hold through those incredible multi-month drawdowns, through everyone on the timeline telling you to sell and get out. Now, remember Andrew King, who we covered, talking about how if we lose this range of 60K to the downside, or 56, whatever, that we were going down to the low 40s and that it was going to be an absolute desert, a crippling crash. Well, guess what? One day later or whatever, he's now calling for 500K, maybe even $1 million price targets on Bitcoin in the midterm scenarios, not like the distant long term. Again, this is why if you're on the timeline on crypto Twitter, it's not only a war zone, but a total clown show. And if you believe everything you read out there and you don't have a clear reason why you're holding your coins, they will shake you out. These opinions from these so-called experts will shake you out. And maybe it's all just the Trump magic, or maybe, just maybe, whales were trying to break people as it had become consensus that if we lost that magical line on the chart, that everything needed to go down. And that's why I didn't sell, because I believe in something way bigger than any little line on the chart. I know why I've bought my Bitcoin. I know why I've bought my altcoins. And I believe strongly in the macro, the fundamental drivers of value in this market, which is why I spend 20, maybe 30 minutes per episode with you all on the backdrop of the market, not just number went up, number went down, this ticker, that ticker. No, we need to understand fundamentally why we're doing this in order to be successful. Because if you don't understand why, you will forever capitulate at the lows and you will be forever way too bullish at the highs. Something I'm definitely guilty of, at least being bullish at the highs, but I did not capitulate at the lows, which is absolutely required. The only skill you need to have if you want to win big in crypto. In fact, I went a step further and I bought heavily at the lows, knowing that I could could be kissing goodbye profits from one of the craziest trading runs I've ever been on in my life. But this is how I see things. And according to Will Clemente here, this is how trillion-dollar asset managers see Bitcoin. A tiny little beginning to a multi-million-dollar per coin price. We have so much work to do. And this is why I don't worry about the little ups and downs down here on the left, when I know we'll be looking at a chart eventually that stretches all the way up to the top right of this graph. So as we look at the chaos of today, exactly here is where we heard that Biden is stepping down. And the market actually dropped because that means that we don't really know who Trump's opponent is going to be. But then right here at the bottom, Biden came out and endorsed Kamala Harris as the next candidate, which the market really liked because apparently those who know believe that Harris is an easy opponent to defeat. What I will say though is that it's pretty evident that we don't know for sure whether she's going to have the nomination. We will know probably pretty soon. But in these moments of topsy-turviness in the market, I believe all of these drops, all of these candles down are chances to bid maximally on the things that you think are going to go up in the bull run. Now, which things, pray tell, Elio, are those? Now, of course, we know Bitcoin. Always bid the Bitcoin. Always bid Ethereum. We have an altcoin on the stock market. Come on, ETH could easily go 5x over this bull run with all of the forces behind. I think money's going to flow into the ETH ETF in a absolutely shocking and devastating way for the Bitcoin maxis. But if I was to be real, I would say that the chance to buy something is Solana. Solana, I believe, is going to $1,000 per coin. I'll be starting to sell over 500 little bits, but really my big sells will start happening around $800. So we still have over a 4x, maybe a 5x from these levels. And then I'll be keeping a big chunk of those coins until we see really where this market could take us. Because Solana could easily rip from 1 to 2K towards the end of this run. I don't see any reason why it can't hit some pretty staggering numbers between $1,000 and $2,000. I think that the bull case for Solana is crazy. And as I have big wins from my other coins, like those sexy meme coins, like those low cap gaming coins, like those crazy AI coins, yeah, I'm rolling those all into Solana and trying to multiply my gains with Solana because I do believe that Sol will get this crazy blow off top pump later in the market cycle. The other big winner here is Telegram. I mean, if you look at Telegram's chart, it's honestly insane. Like this thing, if you look, didn't even dip during this market correction. It just kind of went sideways. And that just shows you that the big money here is not betting that Telegram is going to go anywhere. In fact, it looks like it really wants to close that gap and kind of get maybe up here around BNB, definitely right under Solana, I think is where it belongs. So right now there's a delta between Solana at a 85 billion market cap and Telegram's at 18. So that's quite a big jump there. Those are all the blue chips though. You're obviously looking at 5x, maybe 10x out of these blue chips. If we get any more than that, maybe a 20x out of something like Solana, that means that we're in probably the craziest bull run that we'll ever see. I can't imagine there being a bull run ever again that is as significant as this cycle if you got anything close to that out of these majors. If you want the 20 to 50x gains, you have to go to the more risky stuff. Now, of course, you guys know how I feel about gaming. Right now, gaming is in the most neglected part it's ever been of its market cycle. It's pretty much getting hated on by everyone, which means that these gaming valuations are, in my opinion, wildly undervalued. So if you wanted to get in, I would say stick with the ultimate blue chips, stick with the giga blue chips, and understand why you're getting in. Obviously, I'm the founder of Superverse. You guys know that. And that is my number one priority. I believe that Superverse has potential to be one of the most important assets in the entire gaming space. And there's a bunch of cool stuff that is happening there. So that's the goal and the aim of Super, is to really be a cross-game asset that allows for the entire retail community to support all games across all platforms, across all chains. And there's a lot of really cool stuff in the oven. But you want to go for full-on blue chips here. You do not need to go to these bottom of the barrel type coins that are trading super low liquidity. The early stage of the bull run is about securing the highest quality of assets you can that are most likely to go on wild pumps, the kind of stuff that once it pumps, it'll just be too expensive for you to make a ton of money, so you just won't buy it later on. You want to get those early on. This is still early. Yes, right now is early. But let's just be real. I know why you're here. You're here because you want to buy meme coins. Apparently, that's why everyone's here. Now, going to the meme coin sector, of course, you have Doge. I think Doge eventually does make a big move. I don't have any. My big meme is Pepe. And that's because Pepe has been the OG meme that started this entire new meme season of 2024. It started in 2023, rather. But Pepe is the main character of the meme cycle so far. And I believe that it has the chance to go on an absolute ridiculous rocket ride later on. So I'm accumulating Pepe. Pepe, I think it is kind of like the new Doge, if you will. Let's just not compare things. But Pepe, obviously, I think is going to go crazy this cycle. And then actually my biggest meme coin bag is MOG. And that's because what this coin has been able to do is truly encapsulate a culture coin where you have these diehard communities going around sort of capturing attention all over the crypto community. Now, interestingly, if you type the term MOG into the search term and you do interest over time with, let's just say, the past 2004 to present, you'll see that the term MOG really is skyrocketing and it's at the peak of its popularity now. And that's because it's kind of a Gen Z zeitgeist term. It's a popular slang term right now for the new generation, but it's also super popular in the meme coin community. And it kind of embodies like what meme coining is, of sort of making fun of people who aren't part of it, all ganging together, having a coordinated, unified activities. MOG to me has always been a gem. And that's why I bought in so much so early and why I've continued to support it on all these dips, because I do believe it embodies that shiny object potential. Now, I'll be real with you. I hold an absolute metric ton of this stuff, and I will be selling as it approaches and exceeds $1 billion valuation, but I'm also not selling a lot of it. I'm still going to keep most of it because I do think that when Bitcoin does make its big move to new highs, when it finally cracks 100K, things like MOG could be some of the biggest beneficiaries in the meme sector. Again, new memes are super hard to get up here on the list, so I think that the chosen memes of the cycle are going to do a lot better than these new memes. Obviously, feel free to gamble on a bunch of new memes. There's going to be a bunch of ones that do well, but again, MOG is kind of my main go-to, and I do think that we could be very surprised what like the MOG and the Frog Pepe do this cycle. So MOG Frog is the set it and forget it. There's also Whiff, but then you're also seeing a ton more coins. There's just so many. Honestly, let me know. I've been considering like an alt account where I talk to far less people because I think this audience is far too big to talk about meme coins. But if you would like for me to talk more about the degen meme coin stuff, just know all meme coins could crash and burn, MOG included, Pepe included. These things can be reflexive to the downside like you would never believe. But right now it's pretty clear that some of these chosen memes have upside potential that is pretty wild. Now for the AI coins, I know you guys love AI coins. I certainly do. And the truth is, we need to be real, is that AI coins are kind of like meme coins. We don't really know what the best use of AI is or exactly how these coins should perform, what the best applications, what the best services are. And we also have no idea what potential revenues or valuations should be. So in many ways, they are raw elements for speculation. AI are speculative assets that could fly like crazy given that AI is the hottest new technology in the world. So I think of them a lot like meme coins, but just with a lot less supply to pick from. Like there's just way less AI coins here compared to meme coins, which you can create in a second. Some of these have really cool protocols and apps and services they've developed. And to me, that makes it easier to choose potential wild upside tokens. But I'm also actually really enthused by the AI niche in general. I think helping trying to find use cases for AI scratches my inner innovator in a way that I can't describe. It's really exciting, like trying to break through that wall with gaming. I want to see if I can help these AI teams succeed. And so some of my biggest positions here are Akash. I've actually started doing some advising as well for AIOZ as well as Destra Network. I've seen enough out of those teams that I want to see if I can help behind the scenes, help them achieve something with their products. So sit tight on that. Again, the advisory stuff that I do is very selective, and I want to be extremely clear that I require every project that I advise to understand that it's not about content, and I will never ever respond to requests for content. But instead, I actually do find some genuine excitement about AI tokens that I want to see if these projects can truly live up to the hype and that there can be some kind of use case with AI and crypto here. Obviously, besides the DePIN stuff, DePIN is definitely a use case, but I do think AI holds an extremely high possibility of delivering value to crypto. And so I'm working hands-on with some of these projects to see if we can't help accomplish some massive goals. But I just want you to know that if you make a tremendous amount of money off AI crypto coins, please make no mistake, you should sell those coins. We have literally no idea what is happening with AI over the long course of the future or what the killer apps look like. So if AI coins go parabolic, don't get emotionally involved and roll those profits. I'd personally be rolling them into things like Solana. That's my personal strategy, but I encourage you to figure out your own. Now, finally, I actually invested a pretty sizable amount into Neural AI. However, Becker recently shared about Neural AI and it kind of took the price from about $1 here up to about $5. So I don't know where this pump is going, but if you're looking to get into Neural AI, which I do think, given what they're doing right now, they allow for text to 3D object rendering, which is a perfect complement to the gaming space. You're using AI to help speed up game development on-chain, really cool stuff. And again, a functional product that to me is comparable to its Web2 counterpart. at especially 12 million market cap where it was down here, wildly undervalued. I do think that as the market turns bullish again, something like this will hit between 1 and 300 mil market cap. I personally would say that 200 mil market cap is a good target to start taking profits from this if you are looking to do a trade here. I also think that given that it's just rocketed from $1.20 up to $4.16, it could easily cool off here. But at 12 million market cap, definitely I feel like this is undervalued. Personally, at 42, I think that it's on the way to where it should be. Again, in the next mania, it eclipsing 100 mil val, I think is something that I would not be surprised for. It's only a 2.5x from here. Now, finally, I have here on Deck Screener a coin called Billy. You can see it in the top right. This one I have not really engaged with too much, but the chart is insane. And the people I see tweeting about it, I just have it in my jellies that this one might surprise the upside. Now, something like Billy, this cute little dog, obviously cute little dogs tend to do well. Maybe it's the cutest dog. Maybe it's the cutest dog. That's up for you to decide. But I'm actually hoping here for Billy to kind of come down and test a little lower, because I think that this thing could, as its name suggests, go to the Billies. And for that reason, I'm going to be building a little position. Ideally, if it comes into like this range here, anywhere in this, 150 mil market cap, I do think that as the market flips onward and is bullish into the next year, that this could get listed on some exchanges, that this could be one of those sneaky big performers. So again, Billy, I'm just using my jellies here, looking at the social signal, looking at the people I see tweeting about it, and I think that this thing could surprise to the upside. Again, like all memes, it could go to literal zero, but I'm just sharing with you my strategy. I'm going to be trying to buy in here if this thing recedes, but you don't want to see it drop below this level, this 110 mil. As you can see, there's a series of higher lows here and higher highs. Obviously, it made a little bit of a higher high, got rejected, and so hopefully it comes down and retests where I'll buy some, and then we get the big explosive move to the upside. Once again, this is, I think, one of the final opportunities we'll get. We're actually seeing some uncertainty in the charts. It's not just a rocket up only. We don't know for sure that Donald Trump is coming in to buy Bitcoin with the national balance sheet. We don't know what's actually happening right now. And that uncertainty, I think, is going to open up a void of opportunity for whales to play around with expectations. You have to know these whales are not on your team. So if they can dump the price a bit and make it seem like things are actually not going well, they will do that. And I expect for there to be some stoppy-starty action here around all of the political changes happening. Take advantage of this moment of opportunity and make sure that you're stacking the most high signal, high quality altcoins you can, as well as preparing yourself for what I think of as the biggest, potentially last cycle to really make it in crypto very easily. I think this is one of the biggest layouts that we'll ever have in history. And after you've secured lifetime runway for you and your family, you can focus on other things that make our lifelong journey here on this planet so special. But in my opinion, in order to live a very fulfilling life, you need to first sort of break free financially, and you'll have the opportunity to take stock of what matters to you. I think this is the chance, genuinely. That's my opinion. And I also just want to reaffirm again, I think that whatever happens politically, everything's going to be okay. Like, it's all going to be good. Left, right, center, everything is going to keep ticking. The world will not fall apart. So wherever you are on this, please keep it together for the sake of everybody, because in the end, crypto is going to go up. Whether it rockets today, tomorrow, whether we get the fabled golden bull run that I think we're getting, or whether it's a more muted bull run, I still think we're all going to do very well by taking advantage of this moment. And I sincerely hope that you're doing well wherever you are. And on a certain level, I hope you're able to step back and understand how wildly unique, entertaining, and historic everything we're living through truly is. As always, if you enjoyed this, you know what to do. Smash that like button, and I'll see you very soon on the next episode.